thank you letter to someone that's been very important to us and has helped us through a problem. Okay? Did you get the dog? Mom's still thinking about it. So your problem is not yet resolved, right? Okay. Maybe you might want to think about writing to mom for your thank you notes. Yes. Very good. She said that there was a dog in the neighborhood that was chasing people. So she had to go to her mom. And her mom went to talk to the owner, and now the dog is on a leash. So sometimes we have to go to adults to help us resolve a problem. Yes? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you had an injury in your right hand. You had to write with your left hand. Did it make your left hand stronger? Very good. Anyone else? Yes?
I had a problem for when I got stuck in my basement. It was when I was downstairs and it was a storm, and my mom had the back door open and the door shut and it had pressures and wind.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad closed the back door and he opened the door so I could get out the basement.
Very good.
Because it has a whole bunch of spider webs and crickets.
That sounds scary. Okay, I'm going to take two more. Yes?
I needed help on my homework, and I got stuck on one problem, and my mom came to help.
Very good. Yes?
And then I was over my cousin's house, and I was playing with this big old the thing that's under the ground, and you open it up.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend was holding it up, and I put my finger down. And then he shut it on the accident. My thumb came apart, and they put a cast on it, and then it didn't hurt anymore.
Very good. So you injured your finger and you had to have a splint put on it. And who helped you resolve that problem?
My doctor.
Your doctors. Okay. So, very good class, sharing your different experiences and problems that have been resolved in some way. So as we listen to the book a little bit, I want you to think about who helps Trisha with her problem, and also be thinking about someone that you would like to say thank you to.
I want to say thank you to
When she turned 5 and went to kindergarten, most of all she hoped to read. Each day she saw the kids in the first grade across the hall reading. And before the year was over, some of the kids in her own class began to read. Not Trisha. Still, she loved being at school because she could draw. The other kids would crowd around her and watch her do her magic with the crayons. In first grade you'll learn to read, her brother said. In first grade, Trisha sat in a circle with the other kids. They were all holding Our Neighborhood, their first reader. Sounding out letters and words, they said, boy, and look. The teacher smiled at them when they put all the sounds together and got a word right. But when Trisha looked at a page, all she saw were wiggly shapes. And when she tried to sound out words,
Okay. By show of hands, someone tell me, what is Trisha's problem? I saw your hand first.
She cannot read. All she sees is squiggly
she cannot read. So she has a problem with reading, okay? Let's continue. I'll get you in a second. What was your question? I'm sorry. What did you need? Sure. So we know her problem is that she can't read.
But at the new school, it was the same. When she tried to read, she stumbled over words. The cat, ran. She was reading like a baby in 3rd grade. And when the teacher read along with them and called on Tricia for an answer, she gave the wrong answer every time. "Hey, dummy," a boy called out to her on the playground. "How come you're so dumb?" Other kids stood near him and they laughed. Tricia could feel the tears burning in her eyes. How she longed to go back to her grandparents' farm in Michigan. Now Tricia wanted to go to school less and less. "I have a sore throat," she'd say to her mother, or "I have a stomach ache." She dreamed more and more and drew more and more, and she hated school.
Okay.
I feel the same way.
So, what is Tricia good at?
I'm just good at coloring pictures.
She's good at drawing, very good. And what has happened at the new school she's going to?
Everybody's kind of like, "Hey, dummy, why are you a dummy?"
She's being made fun of. Yes. Yes.
Since she couldn't read, she started not liking school more and more. She's making up some excuses to stay home.
Very good. She is making up excuses to stay home.
First of all, one question.
I'm listening.
Why was she at, how come their grandparents didn't teach her how to read or write, when she first came to the farm?
We're going to find out. Now this is introducing her new teacher, Mr. Falker. Pay attention here.
Tricia started 5th grade. The school was all about us. There was a new teacher. He was tall and elegant. Everybody loved his striped coat and silky gray pants. He wore the neatest clothes. All the usual teachers' pets gathered around him. Stevie Joe and Alice Marie, Davy and Michael Lee. But right from the start, it didn't seem to matter to Mr. Falker which kids were the cutest, or the smartest, or the best at anything. Mr. Falker would stand behind Tricia whenever she was drawing and whisper, "This is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Do you know how talented you are?" When he said this, even the kids who teased her would turn around in their seats and look at
So, what is one thing Mr. Falker does that makes Tricia feel good? Yes. He tells her, "Your drawings are brilliant. Do you know how talented you are?" How do you think that made Tricia feel? Yes. Glad, right? Because she had a very hard time at school. Yes. She felt special. Very good. Yes.
She felt very, very important.
She felt very, very important. Thank you. Let's go to the next one.
except Eric. He had sat behind Tricia for 2 whole years, but he seemed to almost hate her. Tricia didn't know why. He waited by the door of the classroom for her and pulled her hair. He waited for her on the playground leaned in her face and called her Toad. Tricia was afraid to turn any corner, for fear Eric would be there. She felt completely alone. The only time she was really happy was when she was around Mr. Fokker. He let her erase the blackboards. Only the best students got to do that. He patted her on the back whenever she got something right, and he looked hard and mean at any kid who teased her.
Okay. How does her problem continue? Haven't heard from you. Yes.
When Mr. Fokker
Mr. Fokker does make her happy when he stands next to her. Very good. So he kind of protects her. How does her problem continue? Yes?
the guy that sits behind her calls her dummy for her hair and says she's a dummy.
Right. The boy that is bullying her. What's his name?
Eric.
Eric. Very good. What were you going to say?
He sat by him every year and he's not changing it at all. Pulling her hair, which is wrong, and call her dummy, but forever corner and call her a slimy toad.
Very good.
He called her dummy.
You're going to change all that, little girl. You're going to read. I promise you that. Now, almost every day after school, she met with Mr. Fokker and Miss Plessy, a reading teacher. They did a lot of things she didn't even understand. At first, she made circles in sand, and then big sponge circles on the blackboard, going from left to right, left to right. Another day, they flicked letters on a screen, and Tricia shouted them out. Still other days, she worked with wooden blocks and built words. Letters, letters, letters. Words, words, words. Always sounding them out, and that felt good. But though she'd read words, she hadn't read a whole sentence, and deep down she still felt dumb. And then one spring day, had it been 3 or 4 months since they had started, Mr. Fokker put a book in front of her. She'd never seen it before. He picked a paragraph in the middle of a page and pointed at it. Almost as if it were magic, as if light poured into her brain, the words and sentences started to take shape on the page as they never had before. She marched them off to, slowly she read a sentence, then another, and finally she'd read a paragraph, and she understood the whole thing. She had noticed that Mr. Fokker and Miss Plessy had tears in their eyes.